The NFL thought they'd seen the last of the Sanders brothers. They were wrong. Shilo Sanders stepped on a red carpet at NFL Honors with a message for everyone who's been throwing shade at his brother this week, and he didn't hold back. And that wasn't even the biggest headline. Shilo also revealed he has a flight booked to Cleveland next Tuesday for a meeting with Robert Saleh. Browns fans, take notice. The enforcer may be gearing up for his next move. But first, let's address the narrative that's been floating around for the past 2 years. For months, critics have labeled Shedeur Sanders everything from a diva to selfish. Some claim he's more focused on his brand than his offensive line. Others question his leadership. Shilo just shut all of that down. During a recent stream, he didn't just defend his brother, he gave people a look at who Shedeur really is behind closed doors. He joked, "I'm definitely his favorite brother right now. I'm here to represent him." But then he got serious. He's a true leader. A great dude. Great in the locker room, Shilo said. He even shared that Shedeur would pick up dinner tabs and cover expenses. Not for attention, just because that's who he is. This is the side of Shedeur the media rarely highlights. A player using his nil earnings not just for himself, but to support teammates and family. Shilo revealed that Shedeur had plans to build a full nil collective to help teammates secure opportunities and income. Does that sound like a selfish diva? Or does that sound like someone who believes if he eats, everybody eats? The narrative has painted the Sanders brothers as separate from the team, isolated, untouchable. But Shilo's testimony paints a different picture. He describes Shedeur as the guy picking up the check, backing his teammates, and leading from the front. And when your own brother, known for being brutally honest, calls you generous to a fault, people should listen. Shedeur isn't just playing quarterback. He's building culture. Now let's talk about Shilo. He's always been the personality, the humor, the charisma. Recently, he's leaned heavily into streaming on platforms like Twitch and YouTube. And while many think streaming is easy, Shilo made it clear it's a grind. You just have to realize, wow, God is good. What we think is impossible is possible, he said. He understands content creation isn't just turning on a camera. It's long hours, constant engagement, building community. It's work, and it's smart. With injuries in his past, including forearm surgery, Shilo knows the NFL stands for not for long. By building a streaming audience now, he's creating leverage and security beyond football. He's not just an athlete anymore. He's becoming a media brand. If football ended tomorrow, Shilo could realistically build a 7-figure platform just off personality and content alone. That's power. That's modern economics. The Sanders brothers aren't waiting for checks. They're building platforms. And behind it all is someone who doesn't get nearly enough credit, their mother. While Coach Prime is the face of the empire, their mom has been the steady force behind the scenes. She's the grounding presence, the organizer, the calm in the chaos. You see it in how the brothers carry themselves. Raised by a Hall of Famer, but also raised by a mother who kept them rooted. That foundation shows. No scandals, no off-field drama, just structure and discipline. Now let's address the quote that had people talking. On stream, Shilo said, "I could still be a Hall of Famer. You never know." Some laughed. They pointed to the injuries. The plate in his arm, limited snaps last season. But that statement isn't about stats. It's about mindset. This is the Sanders mentality. Raised to believe nothing is impossible. Before his injury, Shilo was known as one of the hardest hitters in college football. He forced turnovers, scored defensive touchdowns, played with explosive intensity. The Hall of Fame comment wasn't delusion, it was belief. And in the NFL, belief matters. If you don't see yourself at the top, you won't even make the roster. He's fighting to get fully healthy. And if he does, he'll come back with a massive chip on his shoulder. Meanwhile, Shedeur was owning Radio Row during Super Bowl week. He previewed his upcoming Nike drop, set for April, a remix of his dad's iconic diamond turf line with his own twist. Multiple colorways, clean design, big rollout. Nike isn't treating him like a typical rookie. They're positioning him as a face of the brand. Why? Because he moves product. Every interview on Radio Row doubled as marketing. The shoes, the watch, the brand. While others were celebrating, Shedeur was working. But then came a viral moment that reminded everyone he's still just 24. A video surfaced of Shedeur and Cowboys star Micah Parsons reacting to what they thought was something dangerous inside a mystery box. It was a turtle. Shedeur jumped back and laughed. It's a turtle, man. It was authentic. It was human. For all the attempts to paint him as cold or calculated, moments like that show who he really is, a young guy enjoying the moment, respected by elite NFL players. That peer respect matters more than media narratives. Let's not forget one major detail Shilo revealed. Shedeur was planning to use his nil collective to elevate the entire roster. That's groundbreaking. Usually boosters fund players. In this case, the quarterback was ready to help fund his teammates. When a quarterback invests in his linemen, you better believe those linemen will protect him with everything they've got. That's leadership 2.0. Now, we have to be honest about Shiloh's journey. The injuries are real. A broken forearm, ACL history. The safety position is brutal. Every play feels like a collision. Streaming may not just be a side project. It may be necessary, but that's what makes his Hall of Fame statement powerful. It's a refusal to let injuries define him. He's building a future in two arenas, on the field and online. And right now, he's winning in both. As for Shedeur, his composure on Radio Row spoke volumes. That environment is relentless. Constant interviews, tricky questions, bright lights. He handled it like a veteran. Most rookies look overwhelmed. Shedeur looked comfortable, prepared, in control. NFL owners aren't just drafting talent. They're drafting the face of a franchise. Someone who can represent the city, command the spotlight, and elevate the brand. This week, Shedeur proved he's ready for that role. The Sanders brothers aren't fading away. If anything, they're just getting started.